Mars Hydro recently asked if we wanted to check out their FC3000 LED grow light, and as we are getting ready to do a small autoflower grow on this channel, it was perfect timing. You are probably wondering though, is it a good light? Thank you to Mars Hydro for sending us this light to take a look at. Now let's get this thing unboxed and check out its light levels. This is a compact package, and even though this is one of the newer style bar lights, it comes already assembled, which is really nice. In the package is the light itself, and then right on top is a sheet of stickers. This is the first light that I have gotten from Mars Hydro, so this is a nice little surprise. After that is the bag that has the hangers, communication cable for chaining lights together, and the screws to attach the driver to the light. Once you get the packaging out of the way, you can see the Meanwell driver and the power cord. I am placing the driver on the light to show you where it goes, but I will not be placing it there for my grow, and I will tell you why a little later in the video. Next up, let's look at how you connect the light to the driver. There is a twist type connector that you just line up and then push together. The cord is nice and long, and what this allows you to do is mount the driver outside of the tent. This removes some of the heat from the tent itself, but it also allows you to adjust the brightness of the light or turn it off without having to get into the tent itself. After that, it is time to plug the power cord into the other side of the driver, and this uses the same kind of power connector that a computer does. So if you need to pick up a longer one for your particular setup, it is super easy and affordable to do so. The flexibility that you have with this light is amazing, and just about everyone should be able to get it hooked up exactly where they want to. Let's take a closer look at the driver and controls. This light uses the Meanwell ELGF 300 HAB, which is great, and even if you decide to run it inside of your tent, it does not get super hot. Moving on to the controls, you have the on-off switch, the communication ports for chaining lights together, and the dimmer dial that has marks for minimum, 25, 50, 75, and maximum. Those are the light levels that we will be using in the testing part of the video. Before that though, here is what the light bars look like turned on, and you can see that they have spaced the bars and the LEDs on the bars so that you get a more even coverage of the canopy inside of your tent. The light is quite bright at full power where it draws 293 watts from the wall. It can be dimmed down to the point where it is only drawing 45 watts from the wall, which is a pretty incredible range. Its outside dimensions are 23 inches by 21 inches, so you can fit it inside of a 2 foot by 2 foot grow tent, though Mars Hydro lists it as covering a 4 foot by 4 foot grow space in veg, or 3 foot by 3 foot in flower. For the light level tests, we are taking par readings in a 5 foot by 5 foot square with measurements taken every 6 inches. These measurements are not taken inside of a tent, as we want to be able to compare multiple different lights against each other in upcoming videos and do not want to have to worry about tent sizing for all of the measurements. Remember that a properly sized grow tent can increase your light levels by 10 to 30%, especially around the edges of the space. As I mentioned earlier, we are going to be using this light for a grow in a 2 foot by 2 foot tent, and in that tent setup video, we will be taking light measurements in the tent as well. At a 12-inch height, the par reading in the center is 951. As I mentioned before, this light will pull 293 watts from the wall at full power, and it goes down from there as you dim the dial. At 75, it pulled 230 watts from the wall. At 50, it was pulling 140 watts. At 25, it went down to 82 watts, and finally at minimum, it pulled 45 watts from the wall. As you can see by the edge numbers, this light is not at all intended to fill a 5 foot by 5 foot space, but the central numbers are looking really good, whether you are looking to do a medicinal indoor grow or some winter vegetables. Moving up to an 18-inch height, and the center reading is now at 676 par, and the incredible thing to look at with this light is how even the light levels are in the center and how much more spread out the light is over that space. We also took par readings with the light dimmed and averaged what the results were, which gives you the par X readings on the left. All of the readings shown on the screen are at full power, and to get the light levels at the different dim settings, just multiply the shown par value by that number. For an example, the center reading at 18 inches is 676, but if we have the light set to 50, we would multiply it by 0.50 and get a result of 338, which will get you pretty close with all of the values shown. At a 24-inch height, the center level is down to 464, again with an amazing spread from there out. We are still using the Apogee SQ420 Smart Quantum sensor to take all of these measurements, and it is working out really well. It is just the sensor itself and plugs into a PC to get these readings, so it is a bit more affordable than their standalone units. We will leave an Amazon affiliate link to it in the description down below if that is something you are interested in checking out. Moving up to 30 inches, and the center reading is at 333, again with a nice spread across the area. Remember that placing the light in a tent will really bring up the light levels, and make sure to check out some of our future videos to see those results. The ability to place the driver outside of the tent is going to be amazing with this light for keeping temps inside of the tent down to manageable levels, but I am more excited to be able to control the light from outside of the tent. Getting up to 36 inches, and the center light level is at 253 par with a gradual drop off to the edges. I don't think that most folks will be hanging their light this high, as you can get a similar light reading by just dimming the light, but it is an option for those looking to get the maximum light spread to cover a larger area. Finally, with the light hung at 48 inches, the center light levels are 158 par, with about half of that in the far corners. This height gives you some of the best light spread to start seedlings, and would really let you start a lot at once in a 4 by 4 or 5 by 5 tent. Again though, you can get similar light levels by just leaving the light closer and dimming it. I love these bar style lights, especially with how spread out the light levels are across a larger area with less of a focused bright spot in the center. The move towards remote drivers is something that I am happy to see as well, as it can be a battle to keep a tent cool when you have a warm spring like we have had here this year. If you are looking for a great light in a smaller tent with an amazing spread, the Mars Hydro FC3000 is definitely one you should be looking at. If you want to check out this light for yourself, we will leave a link to it in the description down below. Using the Amazon affiliate links helps out the channel as we receive a small portion of the sale for sending you their way.